As you know, John and I celebrate our anniversary on the 20th of June. To celebrate that and the summer solstice, I would like to talk about the benefits or positive side effects of happy, balanced, romantic relationships, or the term I prefer, spiritual partnerships.
Yes, we like that term, spiritual partnerships. Romantic relationships can carry sometimes even negative connotations, so a spiritual partnership is a good term that we really like.
I do too. John and I are aware of how much our relationship has helped us both to grow as individuals. We've seen how our personal growth has also benefited our relationship and our work. And we've come to recognise and appreciate our own and each other's qualities and abilities. We feel more balanced in our own masculine and feminine energies. And then when we blend our energies, we co-create both our relationship and our work really well. Can you talk, please, about how intimate relationships or spiritual partnerships help us balance and appreciate our own aspects better?
Well, you all have feminine and masculine aspects, as you know, but usually one or the other is predominant, and generally, obviously, a male is going to have more masculine aspects or more masculine energy, if you will, and a woman will have more feminine energy. And what the benefit, one of the main benefits of spiritual partnerships or romantic relationships is that it helps each of the partners to tune into the less dominant of those energies, tune into the less dominant in themselves. So a man would be able to tune into, in a more powerful way, tune into the feminine aspects, the feminine energies within him, and just the opposite, obviously, for the woman. So what you do for each other is exactly what you just said. You help one another through the medium, if you will, of the relationship to become more balanced. And this is such an important element of what's going on in your world today, because your world is, you know, you don't need us to remind you, your world has been far too long immersed in an overriding masculine energy. You see that in politics, you see that in governments, you see that in your educational systems, not so much there, and you certainly see it in relationships, in individual and group relationships. So it's now becoming more balanced, and one of the ways it's becoming more balanced is because individual couples like you and Johnny are entering into these spiritual partnerships and becoming balanced, more balanced yourselves, each of you individually, and the relationship itself is becoming more balanced. And so this whole process that we're talking about now has the effect of spreading this balanced energy, if you will, to others beyond just the individual couple, and it radiates out to other people, to the whole world. Eventually it's like a pebble that you might throw into a still pond. You have these ripples, this ripple effect. And of course that has effects, very powerful effects, on areas of your life beyond the relationship itself, in your work, for example. Both of you have noticed that your work seems to flow more easily. You have noticed that, have you not?
Oh, yes, definitely.
Your work flows more easily because of the relationship, because of what you and Johnny have been working on in the context of your relationship. So it's not only the work you've done, we don't mean work in a heavy, onerous kind of way, but the efforts that you put into your relationship to improving it and growing it. These efforts that you've made have improved not only the relationship, they've rippled out to your work, for example. They've rippled out to your other relationships apart from each other. They've rippled out into your physical well-being and helped to elevate that. So there are many effects that many positive effects that this relationship between the two of you is having on other areas of your life not directly related to the relationship. And that is happening for everyone else on the planet today who is in this kind of a spiritual romantic partnership. So those are some of the benefits that we see happening for you and Johnny, and also for many others. And when you have enough people in these kinds of spiritual partnerships, you have the power to transform your planet into something you've never seen before in human history. And that's happening now as we speak. So this is a powerful transformation we're talking about, and it's in part, at least, helping to overturn all the old institutions and ways of being, ways of doing that you're seeing today. And this has rippled out into all areas of human experience. Politics, government, finances, the big financial institutions are struggling. In every way, your world, your planet is being positively changed and transformed. Even though some of these transformations have been traumatic for many people, in the end, they will benefit all of humanity. So you can start out with an individual couple like you and Johnny, and this has a ripple effect that is literally transforming your entire planet.
That's mind-blowing. And it's interesting that you said that, because the last little part I was wanting to say here is, it's my own personal belief that a blending of masculine and feminine energy just produces a beautiful and powerful creative force.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems that after all these centuries of warring, more and more people are becoming conscious of that and are coming to appreciate the alchemy that loving co-creation can produce. And it seems that that's always been my belief, but it seems that that's what you're saying, that this can actually grow in the planet just couple by couple.
Yes, it can. And it doesn't have to take a long time. It's happening quite rapidly now, and it's accelerating at an accelerating rate. So it is a major transformation. And what you're seeing is, and it's very obvious to anybody who's paying attention, is more cooperation and less competition. Even though you have competition among countries, among individuals, among political groups, you still have it. But you're becoming, individually and in groups and among nations, you're becoming more keenly aware, sometimes painfully aware, of the futility of competition. And the extreme example of that, of course, is war. You're becoming aware of the futility of war, the futility of business competition, cutthroat competition, dog eat dog, that sort of thing. And you're becoming more aware that cooperation is the way of the future and not competition. And so all of this, to take it down to the lowest common denominator, if you will, brings us back to the couple in this kind of spiritual partnership that we're talking about.
And even further down into just everybody having peace inside their own hearts.
Exactly, and that's where it all has to start anyway. If you don't have peace within yourself, you're not going to have peace on your planet. And this is true of every individual on this planet today. That's where peace starts, and until you all begin, or more of you begin, to create and seal that peace within, then you're not going to have the peace on earth you all say you want. But as more and more of you are creating that peace within yourselves, within your relationships, then that will spread out, as we were talking about earlier, to many, many others. And it's a sort of like a domino effect. It's exactly the same thing.
It's wonderful. And just one final point. You mentioned in the Vanishing recording last night that an energy that you could see, white and with gold tinges. Could you, for the benefit of the fact that we lost the recording, could you talk about that again briefly, please?
Certainly. We were just saying that from our perspective, we have to describe this in what seems like physical terms, but it's not physical, it's spiritual. From our perspective, up here, shall we say, as we look down, there's no up or down or out here or out there or in here. It's all one, really. But for the clarity of our conversation here, as we look down upon your planet today, we are seeing, as an effect, as a result of what we've just been talking about, this light spreading across the surface of the planet. And it's, from our perspective, it's a spreading white light with maybe a slight gold tint to it. That's how we would describe it in physical terms. Spreading across your planet, and that is just the energy that we've been talking about. That's how we perceive it. The energy that we've been talking about as a result of, the spiritual partnerships, a result of the growing and greater cooperation and lessening of the competition among all the people of the planet, all the countries of the planet. So this, what you're doing is simply raising your vibrations individually and as a human race. And so that increasing vibration is creating what we are describing here as this white light that is enveloping your planet.
It sounds and feels absolutely beautiful.
It is. It is absolutely beautiful, and it's a pleasure for us to observe it from our perspective.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Hopefully we will have a recording at the end of this.
Well, we should this time.
Yes, indeed. Thank you very much.
No, you're quite welcome, Barbara. It's been our pleasure.
Oh, bless you. Thank you.
We love you all very much.
We love you.